All right, guys, we're going to talk more about self-trust. I just happened to be skimming through the Half Size Me community Facebook feed, and somebody said, help, I do not believe any of the words coming out of my mouth. I keep saying I'm going to do X. I don't do X. I'm feeling like my word means nothing. And you guys know, like if you really go back and look at all the videos, I talk a lot about self-trust. Because that was one of the biggest things, probably the biggest thing I had to work on in my weight loss journey. I did not believe when I said things because so often I fell short of the goals. So when I start, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, none of that happens, right? And so what does that tell me? It tells me that Heather says a lot of words, but none of those things actually happen. And so then she just spins her wheels. So I started building self-trust with a notebook. I would write down every day one thing that I could do or two things that I could do that were ridiculously easy. Ridiculously easy. Drinking a cup of water, walking for 5 minutes, ridiculous. And when I completed it, I initialed it. Then after months of doing that, I'm seeing, hey, Heather's showing up. She's doing these things she says she's going to do. Now maybe I can build on that a little bit. That is not what most people do. Most people find somebody they admire or somebody who's further along or somebody who's got a program and they say, they told me this is all the things they're doing. They're eating this way. They're doing this kind of meal planning. They're doing 3 hours of food prep on Sunday. They're doing these workouts. I'm going to do that too. And no, you're not. You're not going to do that too. But you say that to yourself. And then when you burn out because you can't keep up with this person or this program or this approach, and it's not sustainable, not maintainable, you renege on everything you said and you just chalk it up to one more time. You let yourself down. This is, to me, the worst damage you could do to yourself. It really is. It is the worst thing. As a coach, I want to highlight here what I talk to my clients about because I want you to be thinking about this for yourself. When I hire a coach, when I bring on a coaching client, they hire me as a coach. When I get hired as a coach, one of the very first things I tell them, you and I are going to work on building self-efficacy and self-trust because I'm not going to die with you. My goal as a coach is not to be with them in perpetuity. It really isn't. There are coaches like that. They will hand you meal plans, workout routines. They want you to show up every single week for the rest of your life. I am not that coach. I'm the coach that wants to get you unstuck, help build your self-trust, have you be good at navigating and troubleshooting your own issues, for you to walk away feeling masterful of your own life. That's what I want for my coaching clients, not to be with them holding their hand 24/7. So how do I do that? How do I help them build self-trust? Well, every week when we get together, they tell me what they think they're going to do. I usually help them refine it and I say, do we really think you're going to do all that? Or do you think we should change this, this, and this? Like we really talk it through. We sometimes even put the bar on the ground. Like somebody might come to me, she's doing nothing. Can you go for a 10-minute walk? I put the bar on the ground. If the next time I talk to this person, they come back and say, yeah, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I'm going to give them one more shot. I'm going to let them try it one more week. We'll talk through why they didn't do it, what the holdup was, all this stuff. If around the second call, they're still not doing this thing that they told me they really, really wanted to do and they had planned to do, then I take it off the table. Hear me on this. As a coach, it's not about my ego. It's not about me making sure that I am forcing them to do these things. It's about them building self-trust. And if they are committing themselves to something they really are not going to do, and I keep allowing that to go on, and I say, yeah, you can do this. I believe in you, and they don't keep doing it, I'm assisting them in hurting their own self-trust. I've actually had coaching clients that I've had to have the discussion that maybe right now weight loss isn't even their goal. Like, they say they want to lose weight, they put all these things down that they're going to do, but then week after week they're not doing it. I'm not going to be on that joyride with them of destroying their self-trust. I say, hey, look, you know, we can always switch your goal. Like right now, maybe your goal should be maintenance. Maybe your goal should just be building in healthy habits. But maybe right now that goal of weight loss that you thought you wanted to do is really not what you want to do. How do I know that as a coach? Because you're not doing the actions to support it. But I'm not going to shame you, and I'm not going to say what's wrong with you. I'm just going to put you in alignment with yourself. What I'm going to say is, if right now you can't or don't want to do these activities, we're not going to keep saying you're going to do these activities. We're going to just take this all off the table. So for you building your own self-trust, one, write down what it is you're committing to. Put the bar on the ground. 5-minute walk, maybe journaling, breakfast, maybe eating a vegetable at lunch, like literally something that you say almost with 90% assuredness, I can do, you do. You sign off on it every day. Then when you see things are not happening, instead of continuously writing them down and saying, I'm going to do this, like you're going to force yourself to do it, scratch it off the list. Take it off. If you do not trust yourself, if you think every word you say is meaningless, how are you going to get anything done in the world that you want to get done? You're not, okay? So I want to see you succeed. How do you succeed? By making sure that you only say you're going to do things you actually are going to do. But if you say, I want to go back to school and get my master's degree, you don't show up and register, you don't take classes, guess what? You're not getting a master's degree. You've got to really think through your decisions, think through the actions, and make sure that it's true for you and that it matches your ability level at this time. Just because you see somebody else doing something, they might have 5 years on you, 2 years on you, a couple months on you, and they might have a totally different lifestyle than you. So you've got to see if it works. So there's nothing wrong with saying you're going to do something. What is the problem is when you don't cycle back around like I do with my coaching clients and I say, did we do these things? How are we doing with these activities? Did you accomplish the things you said? And if they're saying no to some of those things, and then say, okay, let's talk about it. Why did those things not happen? And they tell me why they think they didn't happen. We say, okay, let's give it a shot for this next go around. And then if they still feel like it's something they want to commit to, and then if it doesn't happen the second time, I don't keep letting them go back to that. I say, it's been 2 times we haven't, done these activities. So I say for right now, we go ahead and take that off the plan. We don't focus on that. And we focus on the things that you are doing and maybe improving on those or maybe moving in a totally different direction. But I don't let them keep hitting their head against the same wall. Your coaches, whoever you hire, whether it's a business coach, weight loss coach, life coach, they should be preserving your self-efficacy and your self-trust. And what that looks like is when you say you're going to do something, they don't just keep saying, oh yeah, this time you will, this time you will. No. If you don't do it, they need to have that conversation with you. It shouldn't be a shaming conversation. It should be one of those things, and this is exactly how I say it to my clients. I paired with you to support you on your goals. I see that there are some things that aren't happening, and I want to make sure I'm assisting you in building self-trust. So because self-trust is so very important, I only want us to have things on the docket you think you can do with 90% assuredness. So I see that some of those things are not happening, and I'm going to propose that we take those off the list. I don't care that they didn't do it. What I care is that they don't keep committing to something they're not going to do and then feeling badly when we have our meeting because there's no need for it. They don't have to commit to doing those things. But sometimes in our mind, we think we have to. You don't. I should be doing this. No, you shouldn't. You need to find where you are, start there, build self-trust, baby step your way up, and take things off that you keep saying you're going to do that you don't do. If you can commit to doing 3 microwavable meals per day, and that's something you can do, no food prep, no meal planning, then that's what you do, right? Put the bar on the ground, step over it. You can do this, but you've got to prioritize self-trust above everything, because no matter what calories, macros, points, way of eating, exercise program, none of that matters if the person who's doing it, you don't trust. You've got to trust yourself. So please hear me on this. Put the bar on the ground, write down 1 or 2 things every day that you know you'll do with 90% assuredness. Step over the stick, sign off on the paper, build self-trust. You can always make things more difficult once you have built a foundation of trust. You guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.